Good morning. This morning we are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen.
And good morning to everybody listening to us on Royston Radio on a Saturday morning. This show is being broadcast live from today. We're in wonderful Aberdeen, wonderful Wiltshire, and wonderful Cornwall. And as you will see in a moment, it looks different to what it normally looks like. Okay, we're just waiting for everybody to catch up, and we want to say thank you for watching us live at the moment. We can see somebody watching, so thank you for that. And okay, I'm going to close that down, and we're on a countdown. We're live on YouTube, and we're here. So that's Peter. He's the main man.
Yeah.
He's on screen. It says Aberdeen. You can see that clearly. It says Aberdeen. We also have, if I go here, John. It looks like the light is shining down on you.
It's the sun.
It's
and
the
it doesn't
sun.
matter where I move in this garden. It's only a little garden. The sun is there.
Very good.
Right. Okay. And I think you may be reversed too, John. So we'll get everybody the right way around. You've got a VCam image on there, and
yeah, I don't know why, but
the writing's
probably
back
haven't upgraded.
the writing's back to front. That's better. Okay, so John is representing XSplit VCam today, and
yeah, I don't know why. I'm on my laptop. I didn't even know it had XSplit VCam on it.
Well, it does, and it's working. Right. Okay. So where do we begin? How are things in Aberdeen, Peter?
Well, let's do a couple of things involved with the picture. So at the back of me, you've got a big sign that says Aberdeen, and it illuminates, right? Lighted up. And we've got the here, and it's part of the big hop. And remember, last year it was Oor Willie, the famous Oor Willie from Scotland. And it's a trail, and people can go and follow where they are and say they've been to every one. So there's a map, and it's actually for the cancer charity, the local cancer charity called Clan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So people, I don't know how they make the money from it, but as a trail. So that's that out of the way. Now, this big Aberdeen sign has caused a lot of controversy in the city. It's down in the area called the Castlegate, where it's traditionally, well, it's where they had public executions actually in that area. And it's in amongst our grey granite. And people of the city didn't like it. It felt out of place. However, we are now starting to get large tourist ships in due to the new harbour that's been made.
Uh-huh.
And they flock to it and get the picture taken. Okay? So they're getting a picture taken.
Yeah.
And then they take them away in buses to sites in Aberdeen that we don't think much of, but they do, because it's the old Aberdeen, the traditional Aberdeen, things from the past. We've got a big cathedral. And the tourists like to see that sort of thing. Now, when the Aberdeen sign, this says, right, where we're going to move it to. And I suggested over at the Torry Battery, which is that harbour you see sometimes with me, up on the hill there, just like the Hollywood sign. So people could go up and get the picture taken and everything. And I actually got a lot of good comments. And then they were going to put it into the new Union Terrace Gardens, and they said, what's your opinion? And I said, I don't think it will fit in there. I says, it needs to be high up so it can be seen. Either coming into the city of Aberdeen from the south, where most people come to visit Aberdeen, or where you can be in Aberdeen and look over to it, no matter where you are in Aberdeen. If you put it over beside a place called the Torry Battery, which is the entrance to Aberdeen Harbour, most people will see it. And that's so that's the topic of debate here at the moment. And it's quite fun to see all the comments.
Indeed. It's a bit like, it sounds, Peter, you want to do a Hollywood. Because in Hollywood, you've got the sign up in the hills, and wherever you're walking in Hollywood, you can actually see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, you're not in Solihull.
No, and I'm not moving either.
No, we've got your voice. That'll do.
Oh, okie doke. I'm in just south of Bude in a place called Whitstone. And we're on holiday for a week. So, yeah, we're near Bude anyway. But we've driven all over Cornwall over the last few days.
Yeah.
The weather's been pretty good yesterday, rainy the days before, and it looks okay today as well.
Well, it's beautiful in Devizes today. So I think it's beautiful all around the southwest today. Yeah, she's good. Right. Okay. Now, it is Thursday. Oh, John's gone. So that was good. John was here for a moment. Now he's gone. Let's just let's bring this in, and I'm going to move it over here. Okay. It is, according to The Guardian, there's 3 by-elections today, Peter. And they are going to be interesting. I mean, we'll know the results by sort of midnight tonight, hopes. But basically, there are 3 Conservative seats, and Labour are trying to win 2 of them, and Lib Dems are trying to win 1 of them. And the betting people are saying that if the Conservatives manage to retain 1 of them, they will be doing well. Now, if you're listening to us on Saturday, you already know the result, but we're just postulating what might happen. John, what do you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to see 1 loss and 2 kept.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm an eternal optimist. I'm going to go for 3 lost. Peter?
Oh, I have been kind of watching it. I think Boris Johnson's seat's up, isn't it?
It is. Well, it's all, that area, yeah.
And there's a famous actor's son standing in for that. Do you know his name?
No.
Lawrence Fox.
Ah, right. Okay.
So Lawrence Fox is there from the Reclaim Party, and they reckon they're going to beat the Greens. I think they may hold in Boris's seat, Uxbridge. I think they may hold that. But no matter what happens in these elections, it's usually a punishment vote, as far as I can see. You say, if you don't get yourself sorted out before the general election, this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. Between now and the real election, if the current Prime Minister does certain things, it may change the outlook. And if Labour tell us exactly what they're going to do, because every time I've seen a Labour candidate, when I see a politician getting asked, so what are you going to do? They make a mistake of going just trashing the government. They never say, oh, well, we would do this and we're going to do that. They usually say, well, due to this government. And what I will remind people of, the last Labour government, the Chancellor, when he met the outgoing Chancellor, just says, oh, just to let you know, there's nothing left in the bank. Remember that?
Well, I do. And in 2024, when the Conservative Chancellor leaves, he'll say, I spent even more than you did.
There you go. You turn it around. I worry more what's happening in Scotland at the moment. Because there's lots of things going on. The latest I've seen in Twitter, it's all been people are feeding things out. And it's now gone on to there may be fraud and misappropriate of funds coming out next in Scotland. And that's just came out in the past couple of days. But also had an essay. I'm going to get any politicians ever listening to this, I'm going to give you a tip. Don't think that what you put on WhatsApp will never be used against you. Because we had one where a lady MSP, I think she's MSP or MP, who basically trashed the party on WhatsApp. And she said a few things, and then it was leaked by somebody in the WhatsApp group. And she issued an apology. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, WhatsApp is supposed to be encrypted and totally secure. The problem is the human element. Where cut and paste always works.
Yeah. The human element and say, oh, I'll keep that for a day that I need it. Right? And it's been needed. The SNP have ripped themselves apart at the moment. They really have. And people are encouraging people, if you want, what are they saying? If you want a Tory government in, don't vote SNP. Right. If you want a Labour government in, vote Labour.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. Because who would have believed that Labour would have been wiped out in Scotland at one stage and left but one MP?
True. Their fortunes have changed.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we know the results tonight. If you're listening on Saturday, you already know. It's going to be interesting, and whether Richie Sunak will change what he's doing is another question entirely. And I read a piece yesterday about James Cleverly. James Cleverly is currently over in the States, and he gave a speech. There's apparently going to be a reshuffle of Richie Sunak's cabinet, and he, in his speech, said, "Don't move me. I'm happy where I am."
Right.
Because the rumor was that he was going to go from defense to foreign affairs or whatever. Right. So they're already starting to barrack for their jobs. Okay, now onto something totally different. Which is taking place in Australia and New Zealand at the moment. And that is the Women's World Cup. Okay. Are Scotland there, Peter? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
All right. Okay. Well, not more and more people are actually watching women's football, aren't they, John?
I believe so. It's not something I've been doing, but
I believe it's more exciting.
I think it is. I think it is good to watch. Yeah. Because we've got some decent teams over here. Arsenal, Man City, Man United. It's the same teams as top of the men's league. Yeah. So just from a personal point of view then, as the only one who's actually interested in this, I wish the England team well in the competition which is taking place in Australia and New Zealand at the moment. It kicked off today. And the first result of the day is that New Zealand beat Norway 1-0. So that's the first match underway, and they're underway in the Women's World Cup. Okay, now anything else of interest?
Well, with that, I have been listening. There's big controversy over their wages at the moment. They're getting paid by, is it UEFA? And well, whoever's paying them, they get money for competing in the world, whatever it is, right? But they also get some money from the FA. Yeah. But they've said, since you're getting that money from them, we're not going to pay you this. They're saying, no, we should be getting this and this together. You know? You pay.
It's even more complicated than that, Pete, because in fact what they've done is they've guaranteed parity by 2026, which is the next big event between women and men. But that's only at World Cup level, i.e. internationally. It's still nowhere near parity in the game itself in the UK.
Right. But it's been said a local team could beat the women. Yeah.
Nah, not these days, Peter. That used to be true.
Yeah, but
they've
what they're trying to say is they don't bring in the same revenue as well.
I wouldn't be too sure about the top teams. May well do.
Yeah.
The thing is, they don't play in the same venues as men most of the time. Yeah.
Right.
So Tottenham's ladies play at, is it Leighton Orient that's just down the road? Birmingham's ladies play at Solihull Moors, much smaller stadiums than the men play at. So they're never going to be able to bring in the same revenue.
Right.
Right. Okay. So that's two things from the news. Let's hide that and come back.
One last question on the women's football.
Yeah, sure.
Are they now professionals that play full time, or is it part time?
I think you'll find that's dependent on the team.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mix.
Of course, just one final thought. If they do get noticed and they're good, they'll make a lot more money in America. Soccer.
Yeah, but I don't think the women's game is even taken off in there. I mean, the men's game is still still early on.
I think they get paid good money in women's soccer teams in America.
But the problem with soccer in America is it's so big that you've got regional leagues, yeah, whereas we're used to national leagues.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Messi's gone over to the States, hasn't he? Is that right?
I think so.
I thought an offer had been made. I didn't see whether he'd actually gone to the States.
He's been with Mr. Sir David Beckham. He was pictured earlier this week, I think. We could be confused, Peter, you and I, because...
Yeah, well, okay. Well, that's my bet in football, folks.
Okay, I suppose it's time to say welcome to the show.
Yeah, he's joined into Miami.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 383. Wow. Okay, so we've done politics because there's an election. We've done football because the Women's World Cup. What should we talk about next? Anything burst into your mind and say we need to discuss it? Okay. Ooh. What's Cornwall been like, John?
Until yesterday, wet would be the answer.
Okay.
No, it's just good to get away. I mean, we haven't been away since 2018 because of Celia becoming initially ill with her heart.
Yeah.
And then we all got locked down.
We did.
And then now she's got her cancer problem. So it's good to get away. We did not think we were going to get away, but we finally saw. Well, we saw Celia was in hospital for 3 days because the wound under her arm was leaking.
Yeah.
Eventually, they fitted a bag, and it's been collecting in a bag. And then we saw the surgeon the day after she came out of hospital. And he said he wanted to look at it again before we went away. And he looked at it on Thursday and said, go away and enjoy yourselves. So that was pretty positive. But the day we get back on Saturday evening, and she's got to be at the hospital on Monday morning, fairly early on, for them to have another look at it.
John, is it a holiday home you've got?
It's quite interesting. I'm not sure how to describe it. Basically, there was a row of tin shacks, old ancient tin shacks over here, and the man who owns this, it's called the Annex, and the house next door, he bought it at auction, knocked it all down, and built 3 houses on it, one detached, which he's living in, and then 2 semis. But in the grounds was an old block built unit that was sort of a works unit.
Yeah.
But he's ripped it to bits, put decent windows in, nice door. it's really nice inside. It's only one bed, but that's fine by us.
Yeah.
And he's renting that out as a holiday home. But it's odd to look at. You think it's not square anywhere. The
Yeah.
two sides come in like that, and it's narrow at the front and wide at the back.
Yeah.
But behind it immediately is a cow field. And then there's a shop about a spa about 150 yards away. So if you want milk, sugar, etc., it's a quick walk, and it's very pleasant. I mean, I'm in the courtyard at the moment. I'm going to spin the laptop round so you can see a bit more. Yeah, but it's a nice little courtyard. It's planted up. Yeah, and there's his.
Yeah,
there.
Very good. And is it just the 2 years, John?
Well, there's no room for any more than 2.
Well, it's good to see your pictures and everything. It brought back memories of Cornwall for me. I had some great times.
Yeah, I've got a load more I took yesterday that I haven't put on Facebook, simply because when you get back here, in the unit itself, the flipping wireless is hopeless, and there's no 4G here, and there's no such thing as 5G unless you go to Plymouth, the only place with any 5G down here.
Yeah. So it just shows you the country isn't really catered for as far as communications are really.
Yeah, I mean, when we've gone to say Bude itself, you get full 4G. Yeah, and to be honest with you, it don't seem that much different to 5G. Yeah, you can post. It takes longer to load a photo, and that's about it. But yes, I mean it's pretty nice. But we're now using the Wi-Fi in his house for this. Okay, but the Wi-Fi in this old building, because of the insulation in it, is hopeless. And he'd got a device in there to give them wireless, but he'd not been given some very good advice. And the box that he's got in there is a mesh box, but it's a Sky mesh box and will only work with a Sky box. And it's not designed to improve the wireless at all. It's designed to improve the ability for the Q box to work.
Yeah.
So I've been through with him what he needs to buy, and hopefully it's arriving today from Amazon. And then
you setting it up for him.
Well, to be honest with you, it's plug it into the wall and plug the cable in. Everything is there. It's just the device he's got plugged in is the wrong thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a big shock yesterday. I got into Zero, the thing for your money and everything, and I couldn't get in. I couldn't get on my computer, and I looked at my mesh, what in my deco, and it was red. And I went out, and Sheila was out doing grass cutting and everything, and she pulled the plug.
Yeah, you need power, Peter. You do need power.
Put the lawnmower in.
I was absolutely fuming, and I need it. I says, "Don't you ever do that again."
I tell you what, I have been enjoying. I'm using a thing called Splash Top, which I've set up for a load of my customers who wanted to work from home when initially when we were all locked down. But it allows you to actually run your own PC at home on the screen.
Yes.
And I've been using that here, so I've been able to work on my home PC from here. Mainly because it's easier to collect my email and stuff that way. And then just at the same time, I've been uploading any photos because out here it works fine.
Yeah.
And I've been coming out of here and then uploading photos from the camera because I'm not just using my phone camera. I've actually bought a proper little camera with me. Nothing fancy, but...
Here's a story I got yesterday. I went round to do a customer that it was an emergency. So I went and got chatting, and we've got a mutual person that we know, and he was telling me about his son. He says he's a millionaire now. I says, how's he a millionaire? When his dad's got a fish and chip shop, probably because of that. But no, he says just before the pandemic, he set up a business where he supplies people working from home a computer, seats and everything. And it just exploded. And he's opened up in America and he says he's a millionaire now. Can you believe that?
Right.
Just one of those things.
Right place, right time, right need.
Yeah, just unbelievable. And I don't know about you guys, but remoteness is still here. I'm remote right now. And boy, am I going to wait to do some cutting back. And yeah, I even do my own invoices now. Great.
I've always done my own invoices because there's only ever been me in 22 years of trading.
Well, do you know something? I've just realised how much money I'm shelling out for different things, and I've decided.
I always said there'd only be me, simply because of a similar time to just before I started. A friend set up a business. He had 8 employees, and basically they screwed him to death, and he lost his home.
Yeah, I remember you saying that because I've already spoke to my employees. Mine's is a summer industry when we need everybody, but over the winter it actually costs me money. And I've already spoke to them all, and we're doing something about that, because I can't keep it on. And even so, like as soon as we finish today, I'm out of here. I'm going down to sign up a new cafe, and then I'm going to go and do some wasp nest to help relieve the load for the guys. Isn't that a good boss?
Indeed, it is, Peter.
Well,
yeah.
Changing the subject completely. Yeah. When we came down here, we said we are not buying any plants whatsoever to take back home. Oh, we've bought 12 so far. Yeah, I can't quite reach them. They're on the floor to the side of me, but we bought 12. So our will is not that strong, is it? As soon as you see something, you go, oh, I haven't seen one of them for ages. Oh, that's reduced. Oh, that's a bargain. So we've bought 12 plants. 14 plants. Sorry, I forgot the 2 that are over there.
Guys, can I share something? Did you hear that?
Sure, you can share.
Right. Now this is for the people of Royston Radio. Music. This is me and my mates singing, right? So what I'm going to do now is, what do I do? Right, hold on. I go here. Now, hold on. What do I... Oh, wait a minute. So I'll put that up, right? And I'll move that... right. Stephen, how do I share again?
Top left-hand corner, you've got a share button
Screen.
In your studio on this page.
Yeah.
And I've got something coming in. And I'm just... It's blank at the moment.
Okay.
But I'll put it on screen so you can see it.
Right, okay. And...
That's what I can see.
Yeah, it's not... Right, hold on.
So if I hide that...
Can you see Rockin' Jocks there?
I can't see anything.
It's just blank, mate.
It's blank.
Right. Let's see if this shows up. Right. If you hear us, let me know. Can you hear that?
You can hear it, yeah. Hear it and recognize it.
Hold on. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But you couldn't see it.
No, because it wasn't shared. It was just...
It's not in that page. That's what it is. So
anyway,
right. That's us. We're ready to hit the town.
Yeah, to share it, it's actually got to be on a page.
Yeah. So what we're doing is, I'll stop sharing. What we're actually doing, I went into a shop. We've got Shawadi Wadi jackets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're black with pink, but we're putting tartan on them. And I went into this place, and I know the ladies are Russian, because when I met them the first time, I says, "Where are you from?" And they went, "Oh, we don't like to say nowadays." They were Russian, older ladies. So I had a laugh with them. I says,
yeah.
So I says, right, and I went back in. I says, well, what in this done? Oh, she goes, oh, big job, big job, big job. And I says, how much? Oh, big job, minimum. £60. I says, do it, because somebody was wanting 100 quid. And did a good sense of humour. I says, we need them for the 26th. And they went, okay. I says, when will you do them? She says, day before. And then I had a good chat with him. I says, I've watched you. You both work hard here. Oh, yes, very hard. Wedding season, very hard. Here all time. I said, would you not have been better off in a gulag? It would have been easier. And then the burst out laughing. They knew exactly what I was on about. So that was that, you know. Now, we don't much hear about the war in Ukraine just now, do we?
We know that the grain deal, which was due to be renewed earlier this week, the Russians have said niet.
Yeah.
So there is no grain deal, which affects the whole of the world because Ukraine is one of the largest exporters of grain. And the Russians have started attacking the grain stores.
Wow.
That's the latest. So they're trying to basically disrupt the supply line for grain. The advance that Ukraine were trying to make, they're not getting as far as they thought they would.
Okay.
It's slow going. And as we've said too many times, this is not a war that's going to be decided within months. I mean, we're now on day 500 and something, I think.
Yeah. And I just think all about the young lives that have been wasted. And when they're all people one day, they'll meet, just like we met the Germans and that. And you know, I've seen some videos on Telegram and things like that. And I think some people think it's a video game. That it's people's lives you're seeing getting snuffed out. I am so anti-war now. Not a militant, but you know, you look back, what's the point?
Exactly, Peter. Totally agree.
Egotism, and you know, it's just. I always worried, and this is the truth. I always worried that it would happen in Scotland like they did in Northern Ireland. I always worried about that, and there's people that would have brought up arms. In fact, one did. Ex-soldier as well. He was a bomb maker, and he got caught. And that is a worry to me. It would break my heart, you know. So there you go.
All right, changing topic totally. We have a welcome visitor this week. Angelica's mother has travelled over from Schutthof in Germany because she can, and she came by Eurostar. Quite enjoyed the experience, and at the moment is sat outside with Angelica drinking coffee in the sunshine. And she's here for a week, and then she's going to Henley to visit Katie and Satish, and then she'll go back to Germany. So we've got a welcome break at the moment, and I'm just sort of sat here talking about everything while they talk about something else.
Yeah,
but it's good to have Angelica's mum here.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's great that all the restrictions are off now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
My friend was in Berlin. I was going to go with him, but I've got things to sort. And I was so jealous. And I was looking, there's a good guy I follow now in Berlin. And he's actually shown a lot of things. He's became a tour guide there, but he's got a great site, shows you everything, and the transport system. It's fabulous, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that's that.
Yeah.
I'm back. I don't know if you guys are on Twitter, but I'm on Twitter. But I don't comment. I do not comment now. I just watch.
The place to be is Threads. I've got to tell you that over on Threads, I'm building a network, and I'm following all the British media.
Right.
And all the journalists on Times Radio there as well.
Yeah.
Stig is there posting every morning what's going to be on the show. A lot of the British press and American press are there, and increasingly, a lot of people involved in AI are there. And it's quite an education to actually find out about all the latest AI things as they happen. So you actually get told by the guys who are the techies, this is now available to you. And I've tried 2 systems this week, and both are pretty good.
Okay.
Changes taking place. And I did a broadcast yesterday. Let's just get this on screen.
Could you give us an example of one then?
Just a minute. Let me go share screen. Okay, so I'm sharing screen, and I'm going to share that one. There's one called Llama, Llama. I'm just about to bring it on screen now. So this is Llama, and basically, if I go here, and
is this an AI?
It is, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink it so it's actually on the left-hand side in a moment. Okay, there it is, and it's waiting for a question. So if you've got a question for it, okay. So I'm gonna say, how can I improve confidence on camera? I think my spelling's right with a question mark.
I did see that coming up.
Okay, there you have it.
Is that the biggest screen?
That's the biggest. I can go bigger, Peter. Just give me a second. I can go.
I think they're right too much.
No, basically, I used this on Tuesday to. I was doing a show about camera confidence.
Yeah.
And I just typed in, how can I improve my confidence on camera? And it came up with all this. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I think is totally amazing. So what you've got is an amazing knowledge base, which you can use. So I'm going to say, let's just go with it a moment. Does it pay to advertise on Facebook?
Okay. I'd be interested to see that.
Okay, so I'll read some of it out to you. It's got a large user base, 2.7 billion, but 0.10, limited reach. Depending on niche or target audience you're at, it may not reach everyone you intend to target due to Facebook's algorithms and filtering systems. In conclusion, whether it pays to advertise on Facebook depends on your specific situation and goals. To maximize the return on investment of your Facebook ad spend, focus on creating compelling and ad copy using relevant targeting options. Okay, so sound advice, and that is from Llama.
I went and got a haircut yesterday, and the reason I went and got a haircut yesterday, my haircuts went up from £12 to £14 to £16. Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw an advert, but not the Facebook advert. It was on Facebook in one of the groups I'm in, right? Buying Celtic group, and it comes up, cuts, £10 per cut, right?
Yeah.
So I went in, I was chatting away. I says, so what do you do? A senior advert. That's what he says. Many people have come in because of that advert, right? And he says, we decided to lower our prices, okay? And there's 2 of us cutting. And the reason we've done that, we can get through more, right? And I says, how did you do it? Because you come up quite a lot. He says, we post about, I think it's twice a week on each platform, groups. I says, did you take out a Facebook advert? And he goes, no. He says, only, so he's playing them at their own game, very clever, going into the groups and posting in the groups. As he says, so go home, put in Aberdeen and see what comes up, because it'll be Aberdeen, buy and sell, or Stonehaven, buy and sell, or whatever. Read the rules and just put a post now and then. And that's the way he's beat the Facebook advert. And he says he's got lots of people coming in for the £10. And I said, well,
Good.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was clever. So Facebook are doing themselves no favours by not putting out posts to people now. No favours whatsoever. They just want you to put adverts.
Oh, you want to spend money, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Would you spend money on Facebook ads, John?
No. Because, like Peter's just said, groups is the way forward.
Yeah.
But they've altered the rules on groups as well. So you
Right.
need to be very careful that you don't find yourself in a group that doesn't see anything. Because it's too many adverts.
Right, okay.
Yes, people go in groups not to see adverts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a specific
there's a way of advertising in a group, yeah? And that's to tell a story.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a long story. It can be as simple as Fred came in, saved himself £5 because he only paid £10 for his haircut. That's a story. That's not an advert. It is an advert. We know it.
Did you know that people still die of Kunis syndrome? What is Kunis syndrome? It's after you can get stung by a wasp. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Or went to a house yesterday. The man had the biggest, blackest eye I've ever seen. He tried to do a wasp nest himself. We carry the appropriate kit and insurance. Bang, picture.
Yeah. Tell you what I've noticed, that there are more ants this year.
We don't get a lot of ants up here in this particular, but there are more. Down in England, they get a lot of ants.
We have a lot of red ants on the allotments.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're absolute bastards when you get bitten, stung, or whatever it is they do.
Yeah. What I was always wanting to know is if you get an allotment, how much have you got to cultivate it with stuff in it? That's what I always wanted to know, John.
The rules are dependent by each allotment owner's organisation. In Birmingham, and funny enough, this is a discussion that's been going back and forth on a Facebook page. So somebody says it's 50%, somebody says it's 75%, somebody says it's only 30%. In fact, the rules just say the majority of the plot must be cultivated and no more than 25% of the plot can be used for buildings, water butts, polytunnels, etc.
Because someone wanted to get
but that's Birmingham City's rule, is just the word majority.
Yeah, someone wrote, can I get a patch of land so I can just sit in it? Remember that?
Well, this was all started by somebody saying, could they grass their plot over? Because it's a leisure garden.
Right.
And use it and just sit in it and enjoy their leisure.
Yeah, I saw that.
Cause a load of irate people. This was in the Birmingham District Allotments Confederation.
Yeah.
Group.
Yeah. But I mean, if you don't have, your house doesn't have a garden with the grassed area.
Yeah.
And I can see the point that you actually set up some way you can actually just go and sunbathe.
Well, we've got a few people who live in flats.
Yeah.
And they vary on what they've done. So, I mean, one of the flat dwellers, he lives on the top floor. Mm-hmm. When you get outside, there's nowhere but car park and beds, so you can't do there. He comes down and he's got 3 plots, and he cultivates the majority of it, but he does have an area where he can sit down and enjoy there. But what he's done is boarded it over because he doesn't want to cut the grass. Yeah. So it's boarded over, but then he's built a pergola over which he's growing grapes on. So, you know, each to his own. Then we have a husband and wife who live in I think their 6th or 7th floor block of flats. Yeah. They've got 2 small plots next to each other, and was a builder before he retired, and he's built a really nice home type place. You know, they've got a kettle, you know, gas
Uh-huh.
cooker and all that
Yeah.
in there. And it's built entirely from old school doors. Do you remember the doors in the corridors?
Yeah.
You'd have a pair of them with glass in, but it'd be wire reinforced because of all them kids smacking it. Well, he's built this thing entirely out of old doors that have been recovered from schools where they've been
Right.
replaced with more modern doors. And it's fantastic, you know.
And
So
then
they're
your
home,
plot,
really.
John, on your plot, can you get electricity?
No.
Okay.
But does the electricity matter?
What about
we
cameras?
have two separate buildings in different places on the allotment that have electricity.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, I'm chairman of the allotments, and we've just been looking at the electric bills for both. Okay,
Yeah.
so electric bill for a quarter, for one, is 120 something quid
Right.
before your 5% VAT. But if you actually look at that, we've only used £11 worth of electricity. The rest is bloody standing charge.
Oh, no, it's ridiculous. So, do you have CCTV up?
We do have CCTV at the main entrance, which has got a cabin building. Yeah. A convert. It was originally a workman's restroom. Yeah. But it's been there for quite some time now. 2 years ago, we paid to have electricity put into there. Previously, a generator had been used to give you light and all that. You couldn't hear yourself think, 6 kilowatt electricity generation. So we paid to have electricity. And at the same time, when we dug all the channels ourselves. Yeah, we put in all the things there, and then they put the cables inside what we'd done. That was the cheapest way to do it. We, at the same time, put all the cables in to have cameras. And we're fortunate that one of the guys who's on the committee, that's what his and his brother's business does. Yeah, amongst other things. They do home automation, but apart of that, they'll do your gates automation, TVs, your cameras, etc. So they put that in, and all it cost us was the kit. We've just costed up doing it at the other entrance, which is a pedestrian entrance, and the plan is to do that by the end of September, so that we've got cameras at both ends.
Very good. Are you the man that writes to people if they don't get their place sorted out?
No, the secretary does that, and she keeps threatening to write to me and says, "You've got one of the worst plots." She's not really like that, but she does enjoy having a bit of leg pull. Like, when are you going to sort yours out? But she's really very friendly with Celia, so she knows all the things that we've been going through. Wow, there's a huge peacock butterfly just landed on the wall. Right by me. I'm going to turn it round and see if we can see. Oh, let me move that plant out of the way. Can you see it, Peter?
We see a dot.
Yeah, never mind. But that is a pretty large peacock butterfly.
Very good. Stephen, where are you went?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I am close by.
He was enjoying listening to us natter on.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I'm on air every single day, so I thought you guys deserve.
This is the only thing that I contribute to these days. Right. But we're going for, what is it, 7, 8 years? I can't even work out how many it is now, Steve.
Well, one of my problems is I'm going to have to delete. What's the name of that thing that stops the noise again?
Crisp.
I'm going to delete it and reinstall it because it's a nightmare.
I don't have Crisp on the laptop because, to be honest with you, I haven't turned the laptop on for nearly 12 months because it's something I only use when I'm there. And nowadays, I don't work at other people's places that often, so I don't take the laptop with me anymore. But so I had to reinstall Be Live so we can do this.
I know. But you've got a good camera's looking good, actually.
It's the built-in camera on the laptop, and the
Yeah.
laptop's a good few years old now. The
Yeah.
laptop's probably 5, coming up 6 years old.
Yeah.
But at its time, it was a really good laptop.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate with this laptop. It refuses to install Windows 11 because it doesn't have a certain piece of hardware that's required.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine by me because I don't run a Windows 11 on any of my machines.
Do you not?
No.
It's stable now.
What?
I hate when they do that.
I'm from the school of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah.
By that, you'd be on Windows 3.1, John.
No. I go back a lot further than that. When I worked for ACT and we launched the Sirius, we had MS-DOS, and then we had Windows 1.1 on the Apricot.
Yeah, Apricots. Now there was a machine.
Yeah.
Beautiful piece of kit.
Oh, I've got a bit of news that I've been looking at here. You know I'm teetotal. I don't drink alcohol at all, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is what the Scottish government are taking in. So the S&P in Scotland, they're raising the price of alcohol. A litre of Smirnoff vodka will cost £32. A 16-year-old killer won't be charged and your children be asked if they're... Well, I was not going to mention that. But basically, they've hammered up the price of alcohol, right? That's one of the things they've done. And our First Minister, I don't know, in Australia, they have decided not to do the Commonwealth Games. Did you know about that?
Yeah, we know about that. Yeah.
You can't afford it, yeah.
Do you know who's said they would do it?
No.
Mr. Youssef, the First Minister. We'll do it. I don't think you're going to be in power to do it, my friend. You'll be gone shortly.
The final costing they come up with was $6 million to do it.
6 billion.
Australian dollars. 6 billion. Did I say million? I meant billion.
Yeah, I know you did. That's why I'm helping you.
Yeah. Birmingham, it was £889,000.
Yeah.
Was used to finance the Commonwealth Games.
It just gets out of hand, doesn't it?
Yeah. So Birmingham City Council have just lost a court case on equal pay.
Okay.
And they have to find £780 million to pay back pay to staff.
Wow, scary. Here's the thing. What would you do tomorrow if the bank got in touch and said, Mr. Healy, Mr. Upton, you're not getting an account anymore because we think you're a lefty?
But Coots is a bit different from everybody else's bank.
I'll tell you something. I've had a Coots bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when we were made to take one out? When we went to Northern Ireland to serve, we actually had to open a Coots account.
Okay.
And boy, if you went overdrawn in it, it was an offence and you were charged.
Wow.
Always remember that. So I had a thing with a minute. But this has opened a can of worms because you know who's asked for it. He said, I want to see everything that you've got in me. And they had to give him everything that they had written down about him. Wow. And it was an eye-opener. He's even getting people that hate him on his side. Thoughts, gentlemen?
He can go and live in Europe, can't he?
Stephen, what's your thoughts? Come on, mate. Come on, have a comment.
Which, I think it's a private affair between him and his bank, and I don't
exactly so. I don't see why we should have a fuss about it. Why Richie Sunak should get involved and Braverman should get involved. We should take sides.
First they came for, then they came for, then they came
it's a bank account, Peter.
Right, but the problem was the BBC leaked information, and the guy that leaked it was at a dinner with the chief executive of it that night before.
Yeah.
Made it known she didn't like Farage and made it known she was a Remainer. And that was leaked the next day, funnily enough. And then when they got everything, it's online to read, the bank actually said there's nothing that really, no, he's done nothing wrong. But they had him as a racist, they had him as this, they had him as that. And I'll guarantee you, he will sue them. Watch this.
He won't get his account back, though.
He's already been offered one.
Do you remember this? Am I bothered? No, I'm not bothered. Yeah.
Well, it could happen to us anytime. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Lost for words, because it shouldn't be an issue. It should, as John said, between him and the bank, nothing to do with the press. The press didn't get Coots to remove his account. Coots were the only people who could remove it. They've got their own reasons. If we lost a bank account, would we be telling the world about it? The answer is probably not, because nobody.
No, this is okay until things are okay, until it happens to you, and you go, but wait a minute, what? You're taking the bank account? You're done. You're done. I was a certain.
The thing is, Peter, there's so much choice out there of alternatives.
Well, 10 of refusal.
I often think to myself, why at heading for 68, am I still with the same bank where I was when I was 13? Yeah. Because I've been
late for the win.
Barclays have been great for me, yeah. But
I just
there's
think
so many opportunities out there, it's not true.
Well, anyway, I think you've got to be fair. And before it's went right up to Parliament and stuff like that, banking is a necessity.
Can I ask a question, Pete?
Yeah.
How do you take credit cards when people want to pay you by credit card?
We've got a little card reader.
From the bank?
Yes. From PayPal, Zettle.
Yeah. We looked, because the shop is doing really well at the allotment now. It's turning over almost £1,000 a month. Yeah, £900 a month. Because the guy who took it over has really put an effort into it, and I've done a load of marketing for it. So we looked around, and then he was in the bank paying in, and basically he said to the bank, well, I'm thinking of buying, it wasn't a Zettle, but it was a similar thing, a Square. Yeah. Square D, something like that.
Yeah.
And the bank said, tell us what you're going to get. Tell us what you're going to pay, and we'll either match it or beat it. And we didn't have to pay for the machine, and they beat the rate as well.
Oh. Who are you with?
Lloyd's.
That's interesting, because I'm with Zettle, and they take, I can't remember, but if I send an invoice, it's 2.5% to one. And remember, you can't put it on your client anymore. But if we take it at the door, it's something like a 0.75 or something like that.
I think it'd be 1 point something.
Maybe 1.75.
Be 1 3/4, 1.78. Yeah. Anyway, we've got to the magic hour.
Johnny, so to you.
So it's goodbye from here in Cornwall, where the sun's got his hat on for the moment. It's goodbye from the raging man in Aberdeen, and it's goodbye for the quiet and gentle man in Wiltshire. So we'll be here same time next week, and I'll be at home next time instead of somebody's back garden. Goodbye.
Enjoy your holiday.